be higher. One team will be exiting their Masters run. Their attempt to get there in jeopardy. Levin, oh, he kept going aggressive and pays the price. FUT with the punish early and a 4v3 as a reward.
Yeah, quick rotation from the side of BBL. 2 players already in that site. Caught by the paranoia. Third looking to wrap back around. So the force will be a nice shot, at least from Prophet, to do some damage. Yumpy picking up one as well, but it's Yetajay to trade. Left all onto Magnum. Cypher versus Cypher. The first clutch needed within this matchup to take that pistol across the board, but there's still time to play with. That's the thing for Yetajay. He doesn't need to overface this, doesn't need to risk it, but the same can be said for his counterpart.
There's plenty of time, but that camera gave the information over to Yetajay. He knows that Magnum is towards the spawn, but Magnum waits long enough that he could have ramped up into heaven. Yetajay has a decision to make and not a lot of time to make it. He gets a close range fight here. It couldn't be any better for the Stinger. Goes swinging through. A brave play.
It's going to be difficult for Sociable to get out of this scenario. In fact, this cracks.
Right.
A 2-for-1 discount as he'll take down 2 of the remaining 3. Only Magnum left standing, and with the rifle in hand, there is a question of whether or not he should save, especially now after losing half of his HP. He stopped the flawless. Single kill could be enough to reveal the rest, but clearly feeling confident in their retake. Mr. Farland's lurk has been eliminated. It now just becomes down to the defenders on the side. Solid stun. In fact, they wipe them out, leaving just out a captain standing and try as he might. I'm not particularly nervous for the opposing squad. Cracks going in. No, he doesn't have it yet, but he gets his ult online from diving in with the classic. I don't know how this is working. The headhunter from Zeus has managed to pick off another. And from literally nothing, there's now just one man standing, Yumpy, between a crazy upset round for FUT.
Starts with that all falling. The shot fired out, and FUT knew that they had an opportunity. Now here's the same old play. We just talked about it. Send that man out and around. The late play while they're looking in one direction, come in from the other.
Classic.
Mr. Fallen, he doesn't want the fight with the classic. He's got himself a bookie, and he might be needed. Yumpy pushing down has already isolated 1 pick, but they're going to run that clock all the way down, knowing that he's going to be pressured from both sides.
Got a number of tags, but it's not like the rest are just sitting there now. Sociable gets an attempt on the other side, and he's going to immediately land the kill onto Zeus. And with a response attempted by Anna Captain, it's now a double up of advantages.
That's what we needed to see. BBL back on the horse. A side left a little bit open
For that execution onto the side.
Nice reposition of the trap. They're worried about a flank. They only saw 2 players with the drone, but now they don't need to worry that much. Able to focus on pushing forward. That's the trade to start it off.
Okay.
Yetajay does well. He's been heating up and holding on to that long position. They still don't know about cracks. This is the missing factor. Out he goes!
Pressure put onto Magnum here. The only real defender. Solid stun. Will be a pick for them, and a rifle for Magnum, who's been their best player so far.
Stuck up close with that fight, though. Able to take one, traded out, but that's more than enough for BBL. Information and a flank underway. The main thing being Cypher's no longer in the game on the side of the attack. Well, on both sides, I suppose, but that's opening up this flank route for Levin. He'll get himself a weapon. In fact, he's picked up the Stinger. Swapping out here would make a sound cue, and he doesn't want to give it away. He's going to continue sneaking his way up. Sheriff in hand, but his teammates are falling. He needs to hasten the pace. Cracks the last man standing. He was phenomenal in the last round, and he'll do the same here!
Arrived within it. And a lot of these rounds, but he's under pressure from that Neon once again. Dancing and diving, and as he tries to take the hat off head, he's lost. And in fact, so is Prophet. Prophet was just rotating, but Zeus was far too quick on his reaction time. This leaves just 2 remaining, and well, they've struggled on the retake with an advantage of players, Mitch. How will they fare with less players?
Somehow I feel like this will be the one that works. But look at how FUT are playing it. They're up close, ready to swing. The trade found immediately because of it, and then the backside swing. Cracks is straight into the fight, grabbing 1 and almost the second. Levin's up good enough to trade out, but Zeus is there to pull the advantage back into FUT's court. And now, even a drop out here for Magnum would be a huge risk. Hunter's Fury put through. A tag could get him to spam killed. Oh, it's the drop, in fact, and a big mistake as Yetajay was unpressured.
It was meant to be a distraction, meant to be giving him space into the site, but Yedajay was more than aware. And now for Sociable and Prophet, it again becomes an almost impossible retake to win. 4 players hone in, Prophet's done well, but I feel like Zeus has just been the trade machine. Not having to be that first player in anymore, that first contact means he could just focus on wiping out anybody that steps forward, and well, his stat line has been rising round by round. For Sociable, I mentioned the heroic performance last time out. He might get one in this round, but the clock is surely too far gone, just has to escape.
Site previously had so much utility waiting for them to walk into, but they swapped it to A. Now the retake attempt is what they're left with. Yumpy finds one, the weaker weapons shining bright in this round. Almost as bright as that flash, but it doesn't stop Zeus. He's good for one before falling. Mr. Fallen and Yedajay have to take down the rest, and well, Mr. Fallen's got himself one, but the trades just keep on coming in. BBL finding their form at last, but is it too little, too late? Still Yedajay to deal with, but they'll get that across the line. But as we saw, the stats very high for BBL's pistol win rates, and they'll find themselves the opening. This could be the course correction, get them back into the game, but Zeus and Yedajay, they're back up in here. The brawl won, the spike down, and the smoke from the attackers blocking them out of this site. Zeus waiting for it to fade, and there's the info. They know where the split play is coming from, but the cage has gotten them the spike, and it looks like BBL could be up for a plant. They've split up, though.
Yeah, they've gone Scooby-Doo style, splitting up, looking for clues. And the defense have all grouped up together, just looking to play the advantage. Prophet surely dead to rights, and this leaves Magnum again. No doubt that he has been the player to watch for BBL when it comes to this map, that this would have to be the best of them. There is a slight split up. There's maybe an opportunity for him to find Mr. Fallen, but it's all going to be about the timing, and then has to almost hope they don't group up, and that's exactly what happened. Every single member looking to come around the corner. First goes his way, but Yedajay, but looking to do it when it matters most. That's the main thing. Doing it in the playoff stage. An investment here with the Stingers coming through for this attack side, and it's not started out too badly. We don't see the Stinger Pie much in the EMEA. In fact, it's only really BBL that likes to run them massively. A good position, but it doesn't work out. And now Zeus with...
They've got the numbers to deal with it on foot.
Waiting in the corner. Yedajay there to start. This is going to reveal everyone as they go. This is definitely a problem. And while for Cracks, it's easy pickings in the end. Even still, though, there's been a response. Zeus sneaking around behind them, though. He was here the whole time. He was waiting for them. It's a little bit whiffy, but eventually gets the job done. And now all that is left is Prophet to try and fight versus 2 Isolate. They're getting ready to go straight back in. Look how close they are.
Yeah, already in. As the plant is going down, backside almost under their control, but Prophet goes for the TP deep, catches one before falling, and Sociable with the double seems to have course corrected this back in favor. Out of Captain, alone inside this smoke. Shock darts, shorties, everything coming his way, and it's Levin on backside to clean up. Yumpy grabs one, Rolling Thunder online, but it is not needed here. They've already got themselves full control, and they may well have sent FUT Cloudburst on C and try to drag those rotates, but for now, FUT are steadfast in their approach. They're sticking around. Cracks falls, but still a lot to play with from this side. The ult even committed here from Prophet. They really want them to leave the A side, but Tom, it has not worked. The whole body of FUT is still here, waiting for the peaks, and they get all of them. Where teams often rotate that little bit faster. Still a buy for BBL. Levin with the opening pick, and it's Cracks down in the dirt, but Yedajay is the man that's been hard to remove from this site. He's put up numbers, and he's got it again. One found, helping out his teammates and grabbing yet another. He'll take the Hunter's Fury head on, but he gets the info for Mr. Fallen to play with, and the spike is down in front of him. It's all up to the IGL now.
2 players stand in his way. Magnum unsociable. A potential map point on their opponent's choice, one that they had a very impressive first half, and what Mr. Fallen has been spotted to be around this area. There's plenty of time.
He knows now.
To play with. More sociable, even just looking to take the fight. I was gonna say, I feel like they are hitting into where Yedajay is every single time. Zeus has pushed mid. There's also been the move from Captain that's found him all the way into the window. He's just run straight down and then even has the ability to teleport out of there. The pure disruption from FUT as they get aggressive in mid in the early stages of this round has put BBL firmly on the back foot.
Big recovery needed. Weaker weapons not going to give them that much of an advantage. FUT have the numbers on site. They think they've isolated Yedege, and even if they had, that's a big enough challenge to take that man out. Sociable, desperately low, and Profek coming to the rescue, but he's a little too hasty, runs right into the trap. And now it's left to the low HP Sociable. The rifle in his hand, credits in their back pocket. There's no point really in going for the save, but 1v4 not looking too likely with 40 seconds on the clock.
If he was healthy, maybe he'd have a chance, but just look at where the firing squad of FUT are currently sitting. He thinks he's revealed one. Already here, the Jet making his way past, and while Mr. Farlin in the corner, it gets traded out, but Adacaptain goes huge.
I'll tell you what, his mouse is working now. That's a quick double up for Adacaptain. And the round, indeed the map could be theirs as a result. He falls though, and Magnum pipes up here and now when needed most. Another three-piece for Magnum, and they'll have another shot at OT, and there it is!
Under pressure, Paranoia thrown through, but they still hold the line at the back of the site. The wraparound coming in from behind though. Yumpy, Profek combining. A kill apiece. Adacaptain already here though, but he can't find a single kill. It leaves Mr. Farlin and Zeus.
That Judge is going to finish Mr. Fallen off. He's a madman with the bookie, but he's going to be mad once that smoke fades. Never mind. He survives the blast of the Judge, and Zeus comes in to help him out with the next. This round is far from over. Magnum still draws breath, the hero that has been there again. They get an overtime as a result, and now he'll be point of contact. They've stepped up to the plate, but it's Magnum who's hitting it again and again. He's got himself one. The second, though, proves to be too much. Zeus dealing with him early on, and a new hero needs to be found for BBL.
He's been spotted under serious pressure, but it's only going to be the trade. Profek still here, needs at least one, and that's what's found. But the trades again from FUT are sublime, immediate in their nature. And now the remaining players are so very far away. The Turkish members left on this Turkish organization, Sociable and Levin, looking to try and give BBL the lead.
Trip broken behind. And the response from FUT is to go pushing deep into the spawn. It's Yedege dropping 11. Now they've got the information to play with. They were 12 and 10. Multiple match point, or map points, I should say. And now it seems like they'll have another. The plant is perfect. The cam spotting him. And already the defuse halfway, but pressure not really on with bodies still lurking around the reveal. Still there!
The stuns are good, but nobody caught. And Adacaptain is still in position. Even still, though, Levin's taken one, but these trades, again, take it back and forth until Yedege gives that advantage. And now they look to play together.
He's fought them on both sides. Eyes now drawn in other directions, perhaps an opening for Zeus to walk up behind. Players left of no traps to play with. Yumpy and Sociable. Shock darts, recons regenerating. Yumpy's got a flash. Looks like they might get a little bit aggressive. Tap on the spike. Both players split too. But ultimately, they're not looking to take this site just yet. In fact, we may see them wrap all the way around. Right now, it's an information finding game, and FUT are giving nothing away.
Yeah, they're desperately trying to work out where these players are coming from, and FUT have just taken the time to group up into a unit. Take this as 3, and BBL have got nothing of what they wanted. They were hoping to be given a fight, and eventually they find it. But it's now left all onto the leader, Yumpy, in an attempt to try and save them. The man who has brought BBL to the playoffs now has to try and do that a little bit more, and he's got a player coming up behind him, and Yedege will put this one to bed. A map on paper that looked like it was BBL's to lose.
Magnum's the one to be challenged. His opening pistol was impressive. He managed to score himself a triple kill, but not this time. 2 barrels on the shorty, only one finds its mark with cracks down. Pressure put onto the B site, put onto Profect, and he's not able to rise to the challenge, but Yumpy is leaving them into a 2 versus 2. Out of captain tagged, and he goes for the sneaky spot down below. It doesn't work out!
Battle I want to be watching is Perfect. He gets another bite of the cherry and he loses just the same. And a captain already starting to dominate that early battle. I think that's 3 in a row now for kills versus Perfect, and this round is looking very clean indeed.
Oh yeah, there's no danger for FUT. A 5 versus 1. Magnum coming in, Spectre in hand.
Weapon here.
The only thing is maybe he can isolate Mr. Fallen, but that's a battle he's not likely to win. The site is wide open at the moment. The adjustment from BBL will be to push mid, but that's right into the waiting arms of FUT. But Profek, well, he is course correcting, decimated in some of those earlier duels, but now he's dishing out the damage, and it's at a captain on the floor.
His ultimate already online. There is nothing else other than removing that weapon from Yedajay's hands, and he will find the fight. I think he's just spotted the pixel around it, and it will be the ace for Profek. In the aftershock, has to face forward, but still manages to win one of those fights. But Yumpy comes back with a double trade.
Oh, they're not happy about losing Haven, I'll tell you that. And backwards could be enough. Magnum has to step up yet again, and he will find the first. The second player, though, could be his undoing. Will be, but Levin trades him out. Wonderfully done with Mr. Fallen all alone.
Time. That's the main issue. 15 seconds left on this clock for Mr. Fallen to try and achieve anything, and I don't think there's any world in which he manages to win this one. Does at least clear out the first. The second goes this way, but the time is gone.
No time.
All Yumpy has to do is hide, and well, thankfully that's exactly what the IGL will do.
So no room for error when it comes to BBL, and Profek falling off rip. At least they will find Yedajay. That closes off this Vents approach.
Yeah, don't think you want to push that anymore. Definitely not ideal. Doesn't manage to scan anyone. Knows that at least they're partially clear. I don't even know if the stun would help out too much. Zeus still trying to fight tooth and nail, but he will be able to retreat, and then even has the salvos of his own. Dimensional drift used, but even though he's been spotted, it's not going to be easy to clear. And in fact, they did get spotted. How has he managed to do that with nobody noticing? And it's like Zeus must have walked directly past him and seen him, but I guess they just didn't expect that Sociable would show them that level of disrespect, and he's come back in for more. 4 kills for Sociable. Can we get our second ace already? He's going to get the fight, and we will! What is happening with BBL?
From Haven, if they do end up losing it, and from what we're seeing here, that OT went the other way. It could have been a dead sentence. Zeus, an aggressive play to pick up 2. And they've got themselves a lot of control now. Pressure onto Yumpy. Magnum on the other side of the map, and that's not the man you want to push into. It will be Yumpy that's challenged, and that challenge, Fallen, generational talent.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the Zeus go kill strat this round has failed, so they're going to have to go to plan B, as he has just been domed, I think also through his own fake out. The team immediately trying to react off that. A quick push up middle. Spike the last man in, which is a little bit dangerous, but they have managed to get quite far.
Reveal goes a little shallow. Could have found a lot of information on the site, but players still up on rafters undetected. They try to deal with him, and Yumpy steps up for 2. Profek in with another, leaves Yedajay alone, and Sociables play through mid lane.
He can try and push the full force of the squad back, and especially with the amount of time left on the clock, he's just trying to slow them down. He's been having a game. Even has Magnum for support. That'll be the reveal on the remaining players. They know exactly where they are. The spam coming through, and they still need to plant.
To 4 possible for FUT. They need rounds on the board. They need foundations laid thick for the next half. Profek's brought out an Odin to great success. Spamming through the smoke, finding one. The backside A pick as well. As the ult used by Zeus gets them no round, and Sociables picked up a double. That's 3 through the smoke. After that timeout, FUT couldn't possibly account for this. And now Mr. Fallen again, trapped on the bottom of ramp. Sociable. Oh, it might not get an opportunity to be used. They dodged the ult. Magnum slipped into elbow then afterwards, but he's been put to bed. There's the pick. The Viper's on site. That deep pick can come into play right here and right now. There's a gap for Yumpy. I don't think Sociable's quite so lucky. And in fact, yeah, he gets absolutely nothing. The shorty from Yumpy. The shot to the head of Zeus.
Walking in towards potentially the most dangerous man in Yedege. Working around that angle, Levin's already going to be there to stop, but they have no idea how much ground they've lost. Just walking straight into such a dangerous spot. Well, way to go for him to be able to match that, but if more players keep walking into the crosshair like that, it's going to come in nice and easy.
It's also difficult when you have a team, even speaking about Sociable's ace being the pistols, but certainly Profex, where he would be down and out at the start, being put in his place. Then he comes out and single-handedly destroys one of the first full buys.
The longest map in history last time out, and already a death-dealing blow to Yedege. He was phenomenal in map number 1, but he has been taken out within the first 10 seconds of this round.
The call from BBL, making some noise on A. Mid has been overtaken, especially with Magnum dropping Mr. Fallen. It pulls this rotation off the B site, which is now wide open for the players that are lurking their way up through. It's going to be a free take without a captain dropping Magnum. Sociable spotted as well, I believe. I'm pretty sure they know that he's here. Paranoia used, but it's dodged nicely, and he's causing problems. He's buying time, but FUT have managed to equalize now in a 3v3 for the retake.
Yumby's still only with the Spectre, but a full belt of utility to play with. Levin just making sure that he's not falling for the Durkaroos. He will just about manage to cling to life and then takes control of the spawn as well. That's another angle that has to be cleared for FUT. And that time now continues to tick down, already getting towards the spike, but Profek winning the duel when it matters the most. And now all that remains is Zeus. It will be a 13-2. Really could be the smallest of rounds that makes the difference. That's not the start they were looking for. Luckily, Profek is still here to do the damage. Levin has managed to find one with the distraction, and Yumpy trying to flash back into position. The fact is, though, they are still looking to go in this same direction. But it seems like the play here from BBL is just play the retake. And whoa, Zeus has been caught while trying to cross.
The retake gets that little bit easier now, doubling up on the advantages.
Spike planted.
Cleared out Heaven already with the Prowler, and this is going to be their signal to group up. 4 players coming in together. Utility, not quite gone because you've still got those salvos. Those pesky salvos are causing problems. Yedege, not able to tuck in anymore. He's out in the open, isolated, and beautifully played by BBL.
Here, trying to just get up in their face and nothing found for it. And while an attempted push through from Yumpy is met with exactly the same fate, in fact, even a fadeaway shot for Cracks to add another to the death toll. I think we saw this in the last map. A flawless, potentially on the cards, although there has been a timing for Profek. There's so many players still within this site. I'll be surprised if he's not expected.
I mean, there's something as well that we've seen from Profek. Going back to the previous map, he had a lot of patience in looking for those flank players. You can see he is very much expecting that to be the case. Yet again, that someone's trying to sneakily come up behind him. The recon gives away the game, though, and it's Yedege being watched by Profek. He's under a little bit of pressure. If they were to walk up short, there could be a gap. The Sociable peeks it here and there, and with Yedege down, FUT are sending it in his direction. It's Profek with the pressure on his back.
Again, not coming. He's now finally made the spot, but this now becomes more of a survival effort. Maybe in the hope that somebody will be able to get there in time. Just created a little pocket of space for himself. This angle is just in case anybody crushes to the side of the site, and that's exactly what it's done. Clever stuff, and Profek still surviving in the backlines. He's lasted such a long time. And that means that spike is still yet to go down. 10 seconds left, as the rest of the players will now start to move their way forward. Nice shot from Mr. Farling, gets rid of Sociable, but Levin's there as well, and he has to try and stick this plant. Beautiful flash. And a captain now being pressured. A second flash through, and while Zana captain to win the battle versus the young duelist there again, after getting an opener, going to immediately react off the back of this. Now there's 2 players within the site.
Nice flash by Zeus. Profek, though, still going. This smoke, we saw a similar one in the previous round, and it's bought them an advantage, or at least, rather, it's pulled it back into equal footing. The problem is, the advantage goes to FUT, as the B site now wide open. They've stepped in already. Yedege has closed that door, and Mr. Fallen has a free route down onto site. an open plant as well that could play Boathouse. Move back towards main, where they've actually embedded out a captain. A lot to work with.
Against the Teo, it's much more difficult to play that backside, play off those crossfires, because it can be so easily cleared by all of that utility information. Attempted to be found by Profik, but they still have to clear that backline. The dart does well, but more importantly, it gives the space to Captain. Yedajay there as well, and now all that stands is Magnum, nothing to be had. In trouble around that short control, and yeah, already forcing them out of position. That paranoia has removed the danger of the setup. That's the issue of not having that sentinel over on the defensive side, is you need to have more of this aggression, target selection not working out for Profik, and it's already falling apart. Magnum almost hoping for a bit of a miracle spray, because they have completely lost control of the site, and even with bullets being spammed through, nothing is found.
There was a moment where it looked like Levin was about to pop off. He was about to have so many opportunities with that operator. But once Yumpy goes down, FUT, they realize there's a weakness. Where Levin is right now. Time is ticking. They found a pick. Ult's going to be committed. They're going for this, even with Levin so far away. Yedajay's had all the time in the world to wrap around, and he's about to execute Magnum from short. In fact, Mr. Fallen gets ahead of it, and the ult will be lost in the end. But maybe just shoehorned into this A play, and Profik very much happy with that scenario. He's picked himself up a double. We saw him with a slow start over on Split, but once he managed to hit a few shots, well, it was an ace that came right after.
Not wanting to overplay his hand. Cracks has been spotted as well. No real need for the defensive players to fight too aggressively in this moment. Cracks has been able to bypass the utility, and it seems like maybe even a plan to try and teleport into the site. It hasn't worked out, leaving only Cracks remaining, and he will get nothing for it into middle or force them forward. It's going to be that aggressive push from Yumpy. There goes the Armageddon, trying to trap them in the corner, but it's missed just by a millimeter. Sociable has been able to pass, and Magnum checks the one angle that hadn't been cleared. A nice little set piece, leaving Captain alone to try and fight this back. You mentioned those mid-splits with late aggression, and also utilized by the attack.
Oh, the head spotted, but Mr. Fallen is the one walking away with a double. Profik gets in there just in time to cancel out the lockdown, but they've already gone in the other direction. And Tom, this is something you highlighted.
11, but now there's nobody left on the site. They're both looking to pincer in behind a nasty surprise, but then an immediate disruption for the rest of the team to make it out of that smoke. This is such a peculiar round for them, but already Yumpy will be lost. Cracks has only been downed, and Zeus just striking once again. It leaves a 3 versus 5 in an attempt, and while Zeus is not done, he wants a little more.
Levin's moment to strike. He's found himself one, but down below at the logs is out of Captain. He won't make it away. That TP, near or far, he wasn't making it out. A 3 versus 3. Players all on site, stacked up. Salvos will clear out the back. Boathouse wide open, but the players were way ahead of that. A shot, but the wall gets in the way. Yedajay still drawing breath. They'll deal with him. And Sociable with the shorty. It's Profik. On the defensive side, the push and pull was their downfall. Maybe the Sentinel was a problem for FUT. That won't be an issue. They were able to stack up one side of the map, and Sentinel is here as well. They've got numbers, boots on the ground, and the spike in the same position. It's down in the open. This round, it's not looking likely to fall to BBL. This could be FUT's way to equalize early on. But Tom, last time they faced, it was the pistol, it was the follow-up on defense for FUT. And only 3 rounds from that point forward, BBL had a lot of momentum on the attack.
Luckily for both sides, they've had a million rounds to look back on. Can't always take everything at face value. That is a kill that definitely makes things a little bit more interesting, but with a player still towards A main and 2 sat underneath. Going to be easy to clear any of these remaining members. 30 seconds to try and find something here, hoping that maybe it gets revealed, but Captain's already going to catch one. It leaves Magnum with an impossible task. His position known and only 18 seconds to play with. This pistol is going to go the way of FUT.
He's got himself that gate crash, and it will be used fairly soon as the
Clear,
pressure comes in, and retakes only good for one.
Yeah, Krax is there for the immediate response, needs a little bit more, but look how low these players are already tagged. The SMG is becoming weaker, but what a shot from Profek. Straight through the smoke. That's something that BBL have to think about going into the future rounds. That Prowler didn't clear that close corner. We'll see if the damage is fatal.
So low on these players swinging, but that's why they're going in together. Getting ahead of the problem, leaving out a captain all alone. A clutch he's more than capable of winning.
From Profek and Levin leading the charge.
Levin's the one to find one, but they have to clear out a captain. Done well. Flash in from Zeus. Another to be found. We're level again. A 3 versus 3. The door closed and the plant enabled as a result. They're going to wait now. Oh, not wait for retakes. I thought he was coming short. I thought they'd group up and play this together. But of course, that flank is going to be wide open. Sometimes you'd worry about a turret, an alarm bot, but it's not in play. Instead, you have to worry about Yumpy. This machine is the one that's giving them the advantage. Now a tough position to fight from if retakes doesn't get anything and he's been spotted. The element of surprise gone, and they were watching it anyways. Now in a high-low, Yumpy to be cleared from the close corner, but they've managed to win the fight. Here comes the big push. Krax left alone, and both players facing. All of this utility on the B side, stopping them from having any sort of flashes or initiation. They have to just swing dry into angles. Zeus does well to find one. The trade outs have been there, but one player brought back from the dead. Yumpy down but not out. The player on site under so much pressure. retakes! His side is secured by Mr. Fallen. And because of that, Magnum left in a 1v2. He's going to force the issue.
He's trying to bait them into thinking he's down on the site. Timing almost works out for him, but maybe gets a little bit nervous. Dodges the paranoia, but our captain is quicker on the trigger. That was a little bit close for Krax. He will fall back to the side, but retakes will take the damage for it. The left side completely sectioned off. He's being hit by every piece of utility, and a second player spam. Zeus is there, cooking up. That's 3 now. They've just decided the only way is through the walls. Don't let them see you.
That's one way to do it. Great reveal from Magnum to start it out, but from that point forward, a little bit ridiculous. Ready for Zeus. The swing on the back of it, but there'll be no flash. Not anymore. That knife hits perfectly sociable. Isolates Krax. Here comes Zeus, but he's not the hero that they need. Mr. Fallen won't be either. All of the players from FUT have fallen except for retakes. 2-round gap.
Split through B. retakes realizing he has to move forward. Nowhere else for him to go, but he's found the gap that was needed. Mentioning they'd need a hero, and he has come alive at the exact moment. Zeus as well to trade out.
The quick play from BBL.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing. They split through, but this time they catch Mr. Fallen. They fight towards the spawn instead. Levin is going to go dashing in, trying to isolate Zeus, and that's exactly what he's done. Winning that head-to-head again. 2 already to the good. 3 players stand, 2 of them at the back of the site. The other is out of captain, and he's going to be the one under pressure, trying to fight forward against the full force of this squad. retakes has found one, but it might be too little too late. That A site is completely under their control.
Spike planted.
Magnum was left behind on the switch. An attempt to finish this round early. He was taken out, but there's another snake in the grass. Hell, they're everywhere. Sociable drops retakes. And Krax now, the last man standing. We talk about his KO, but this is too much to ask. BBL, they've claimed Turkey's 82nd province.